I have won more tour titles than any other Asian. Just because you don't argue on calls doesn't make you any worse. Okay, Bjorn Borg won his matches in certain ways. McEnroe won in certain ways. Connors won in certain ways, and I won in certain ways. But I think if you look back at the history of Asian tennis, at the end of the day, to this day, I have won more tour titles than any other Asian.
Yes, 405.
Yeah, but it's 16.
No, title is just.
Titles, yeah.
But number of matches, I think 405. That
also,
is the nation.
But I mean, if you look at the number of tour titles when someone wins over a period of his career, the next person is only at 12. Is a Japanese player, Kai Nishigori. So I think when you look at the desire to win, I think it was very much there. The question is, do you win the majors against the top players, like the Borgs, the McEnroes and Connors, who are the top players of my generation? Because I'd beaten them before and I'd beaten them after, but I didn't beat them there. Though I did beat Borg at the US Open, but I lost to him at Wimbledon.
Yeah.
So it's a mix and match. But then I always say, well, that's looking at the cup half empty.
Yeah.
I look at the cup half full.
Half full, always. The gamesmanship and sportsmanship. My understanding of sportsmanship is playing with the spirit and ethics. And gamesmanship is where you're leveraging the margins of the rule. Like, for instance, I think was it Rod Laver who was playing against you in the US Open, 5-setter, which won. And he started wearing spike.
That's right.
He took the spike. Right. You didn't have the spike.
That's right.
I don't know if a larger-than-life figure at that point in time, he was so keen to win that he even went on to wear those spikes, where you never had the spikes. You didn't even know about the spikes. So it's a difference between sportsmanship.
Well, let me put it this way. He was such a pro and arguably the world's greatest player ever.
Yeah.
And to play him on the center court at Wimbledon, center court of the US Open, after having beaten him at the Volvo event in New Hampshire, was a special moment because, I didn't want people to also think that was, a fluke the first time around. So this was the second time around, and it started to drizzle. So when it started to drizzle and the court started to get wet.
It's a clay court.
It's a grass court. Grass court.
Oh,
it was grass.
Grass court.
So you needed some more traction.
Even more
slippery. He happened to have it.
Yeah.
He happened to have spikes in his bag. And so when the referee came out and said, Mr. Laver, you're free to wear spikes, he turned to me and said, hey, kid, you can wear spikes too if you want. Obviously I didn't have any spikes with me, and I started to use my handkerchief to wipe the bottom of my feet during the course of the match.
Unbelievable. Incredible.
As it showed later on, I ended up winning in 5 sets.
Does fortune favor the brave?
Oh, by a long shot.
By a long
shot. No guts, no glory, no pain, no gain. You just have to go after it and play big on the big points. People are not going to remember you by the losses. They're going to remember you by the wins.
By the wins, yeah.